Okay, anybody wants to share any spiritual thing, any question, any discussion on any spiritual topic? I see very quiet, meditative. Go ahead, Mukeshji.
Meditation says that what is the definition of meditation? Meditation is not doing or anything. It's like unwinding the doing is meditation. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that is on one way, one aspect, yes. And when in the end, exactly what you're saying, but to reach there, many things need to be done, unfortunately. Because just by saying that, hey, don't do anything, we won't be able to. That's why Krishna Bhagwan is taking you step by step. And that's why there are upasana part is there, where in the beginning you do have to do japa, you have to do this, you have to do that. Like Meenaji was saying, put some music or some mantra. All that is to take us to that non-doing. Because physically it's very easy. कि भाई थोड़ी देर वो भी डिफिकल्ट एक्चुअली हमारी टीचर बोलती थी हम लोग को कि अर्जुन ने सोचा कि वो जाके ना पहाड़ी पे मेडिटेट करेगा सो उसने कृष्ण भगवान को बोला कि मेरे को तो ये लड़ना वड़ना नहीं है यू सेड कि नॉलेज इज अ सुपीरियर थिंग मैं चला जाऊंगा सो ही सेइंग दैट अगर मैं हमारी टीचर बोलती थी मैं बोलूँगी इस कोने में बैठ जाओ 8 घंटे बैठ के दिखाओ मुझे without doing anything. Right? It's very difficult. So right. That's what Arjun also had the same problem. Too much rajas in him. So then Krishna Bhagwan is telling you, whatever your mind makeup is, use that in a dharmic way that purifies the mind, puts the pressure of the vasanas down. Like you were talking about the pressure of vasana. It purifies the mind. Then you are fit to do the meditation.
No, that's absolutely
correct. So it's even though that's why itne sare 47 verses, I think approximately, I don't know exact, in chapter 6, it's a meditation ka topic hai. Kitna Krishna Bhagwan repeat bhi kitna kiya unhone.
Also, if you have desire to do nothing, that is also an action. That is a karma. So long as your desire is involved.
So there is a danger in that. Krishna Bhagwan knew it. Because तभी उन्होंने the most famous verse कर्मण्य वाधिकारस्ते, all of you have heard, we have gone through it in chapter 2, for verse 47 of chapter 2. There are 4 points he talks about karma yoga. One is your right is to work only. You have no right on the result. The reason he said that, we don't have control over the result, because the result comes from a higher self which knows the entire spectrum of this universe. Because we may be doing a karma and we may be thinking, मैं तो इतना अच्छा काम कर रही हूँ, मगर who knows who it is hurting. And I'm just saying. So the result comes, then you take it as a prasada buddhi and all that. So that's the first thing, first 2 points. Third one was, don't have an eye on a fixed result. Then that means you have attachment. कि मैंने ये stock में invest किया तो मुझे ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, profit ही होना चाहिए. No, it's not going to happen. Half the time, or more than half. So third, you give up that. Fourth is, don't become inactive, because I was like, oh, this is too much problem. This काम करना तो मैं बैठ ही जाऊँ, कुछ करूँ ही नहीं. He said, no, that's not an option for you. Get up and do. So what Joe is telling, that not doing anything is also doing in Vedanta. Not doing anything at the highest level is when you know that Prakriti is doing it and the Purusha is not, means the consciousness is not doing anything. Consciousness is just illuminating. That's called non-doing. But to develop that, it takes a lot of time.
Right.
So that's why Krishna Bhagwan gave an easier step. Learn first to give up the fruit of action. Do the job as your duty. Not coming under the sway of likes and dislikes. Keep doing it and give it to a higher altar. Sometimes people have a very hard time jumping to, God. so high altars. So start with a small thing. You know, you're in your own family, you know, don't become too self-centered, you know, do things what others like also. That's how you start. Then, you know, community, country, whatever you want to say.
Right.
You know, that's how you increase. But if you can dedicate it to God, but to dedicate it to God, we have to understand who God is first. You know, so
and then we take the excuse of saying that I'm dedicating to God, but because we don't want to dedicate to a people who would offend you or who would argue with you, so we usually
escapism, people, yes.
escape with that, right?
But here, once you know that God is everything, that it is in that person that you have a conflict with also. Right?
But we go directly to the statue.
Right. I see your point. Absolutely. And that is so easy, you know. तभी बोलते हैं ना कि
and that's what the 90% of the world is doing right now. You know, sometimes in terms of being a religious, in terms of temple-going person, we dedicate everything to when we go there, and then after we do 100,000 different actions during the daytime to the other living entities, which you're supposed not to do it, right?
You know, there's one drishtant which I loved. He said that, you know, भगवान को ना हम लोग मंदिर में बंद करके रखना चाहते हैं, right? तो वहाँ जाके मत्था टेका, भाई भगवान, you know, प्रार्थना किया, ये वो, फिर जब टाइम आया दरवाजा बंद कर दिया. So एक दिन ना दृष्टांत है सिर्फ, it's like भगवान बोले कि मुझे ना बाहर निकलना है, चौराहे पे जाके खड़ा होना है. Because the moment क्या करते हैं लोग कि सामने तो एकदम अच्छे बन जाएंगे, जैसे ही बाहर निकले चौराहे पे, you know, उल्टा सुल्टा काम करना शुरू किया, you know, kind of hurting people or telling lies and all this. So भगवान ने बोला कि मेरे को बंद नहीं होना है, मेरे को तो बाहर निकल के चौराहे पे खड़ा होना है. तो बोलते हो, पुजारी बोला नहीं आप इधर ही रहो, चौराहे पे मत आओ. वापस बंद कर दिया भगवान को. दृष्टा. So that tells you. You know.
No, it's true. That's a sign of Kali Yuga, right?
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that what Chinmayananji used to say always, that spirituality is not 1 hour, 2 hour job. It's a 24-hour. So if you have to become a better person, you know, to everybody. So sometimes it can, and then, you know, another thing is very easy to see God in goody people, right?
Right.
The moment somebody we have conflict with, तो वो हमको God नहीं राक्षस ही दिखाई देता है.
Or a prisoner, you know, we don't see the God in a prisoner.
Yeah, but that's exactly the difference between a saint and an ordinary person. A saint, कितना भी खराब काम किया होगा, he will go and be compassionate toward that person. And that's why a lot of these people, they go and work with the people in the jail. I know that Sri Ravi Shankar, he said that he goes and does programs in the jail. And he was telling his experience that he will have them meditate, teach them, you know, whatever at their level.
Whatever he can do, right?
Yeah, and when their mind calms down, some of them will cry like a baby and say, I don't know why I did that crime. It wasn't me. Because their mind is quietened down now. They feel like, you know, they feel so repentful in their mind. And that's the real transformation that happens.
Right,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
For that moment, they become nobody.
Yeah.
For that particular moment.
Right.
When they... Right?
Yeah. So...
No, good discussion.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Boliye, Sheila ji.
So I think with the essence of this verse is that after that only Atma remains, right?
See, that's why I was telling you that when you say जीवात्मा बोलते हैं उसको, जीवात्मा जो दूसरा जन्म लेती है, और जो फाइनल हम लोग का गोल है ना कि वो जन्म ही ना ले और भगवान में मिल जाए. हाँ, तो अगर हम वहां नहीं पहुंचे तो कम से कम ये तो आशा हम करें ना कि हमने अच्छे कर्म किए हैं तो अच्छा जन्म मिलेगा. अगर नहीं भी, you know, because किसी ने, I think one of the discourses the Swami was saying that Vedanta, you know, says जरूरी नहीं कि हम अगर इंसान है तो इंसान ही बनेंगे वापस. अगर हमने कोई इतने बुरे काम किए हो तो हम लोअर भी जा सकते हैं, लोअर योनियों में भी जा सकते हैं. वो मतलब उपनिषदों में तो आता है, अभी इसमें भी आएगा शायद, कठोपनिषद में भी आएगा, that, you know, I mean, they're not going to scare us, but it's a logical thing too.
It's the truth actually,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So कम से कम हम इंसान बने वापस और हम कोई better situation में हो. A better situation from the Vedantic perspectives where you pursue your spiritual path. It's not like how much money I have, and sometimes it can become ulta. If you have too much to worry about, then you're not going to pursue your spiritual path. You'll be just stuck in your stock market the whole time. So those are the things that a better life in Vedanta is when you will pursue this more and more.
But just Atma take birth right after he quits one body into the another one.
See, those are the answers is going to come, and it's not. It has so many varieties to it that we don't know. It can take right away. It can go to Swargaloka, enjoy for a while. कि बहुत पुण्य के बहुत डिजायर हो उसको कि मुझे स्वर्ग में जाना है, उसने ऐसे ऐसे अच्छे काम किए तो स्वर्ग में भी पहुंचा देंगे वो. वहां पर हम लोग थोड़ा घूम घाम के फिर वापस आएंगे. So there is no fixed thing like that.
There is no fixed thing.
Yeah, no fixed thing. Yeah, no.
It is very hard to say.
Yeah, nobody knows. They're just different, theories, whatever. But there are so many other Puranas and all that. I have not read some of them, but they say कि उसमें सब काफी कुछ दिया हुआ है. Even about one of the Puranas, I don't know if you have heard of it, that a baby in the womb, they say, remembers everything.
Yeah.
किसी ने पढ़ा है वो? सुना है? Yeah, सुना है ना? कि baby remembers everything and it prays to God कि ना मैं फिर बहुत अच्छे काम करूंगी, whatever, and then moment it's born, it forgets everything.
Yeah, it is.
Babies have memory for 3 years.
Sometimes, I see our grandson, he's looking in the sky and he's just saying, he doesn't know how to talk yet. Something, he's feeling happy and all. God knows, he's looking at angels or something.
Yeah. They remember, but by the time they are 5 years, they forget everything.
Yeah.
So that's why they take to some people. They love some people.
Ah.
They like to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Now there are so many shows, life after life and this and that on Netflix and, Amazon Prime. They have so many series and so many people they talk to who have connection with the subtle world. It's becoming more and more evident.
On Netflix, there's something like Life After Life.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I don't know which one. There is a program called Life After Life that I had watched almost a year or two ago.
Oh,
Most
so
likely it is on
it's
Netflix.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's
I have
a
another comment. After, when you say moksha, then you merge with God or merge with energy or whatever, or you become one. However, there is a stage below that where you exist, but you don't have your own body, physical body.
That's a subtle body.
Right.
Yeah.
When Ramakrishna appears and tells you to do something, he's no longer in his body, but he exists.
That's exactly what we are talking about. That the Jivatma is still there.
Shiv is the same way.
Yeah. And you saw that in a lot of these biographies, they go and connect with their gurus. The guru came and met with them. But they have the capability, firstly, they can materialize their body at will. I know they sound too outlandish for us, but if you read all these accounts, they will tell you. Now it's up to you whether you believe them or not. I mean, there's Mr. M karke ek hai, and he has his that Babaji. Remember that Babaji that they talk about? He materialized himself and came in his backyard when he was 9 years old. The Mr. M, he born in a Muslim family and he follows Vedanta and all that. And he said he was not scared at all. And he just put his hand on him and, like how you love a child kind of, He knew that he's a spiritual soul and he has to come back to Himalayas for his journey. And he said, he just gave him the Ashirvad and said, I don't know exactly what he said. And then he said that he disappeared. Whether you believe it or not. And Yogananda ka to either right here in Encinitas, he talked about his guru coming. He was sitting on the bench and the Guru came and met with him.
No, I have a friend of mine. He's from Pakistan, and Babaji appeared to him, and he went to Rishikesh and he met him, and then he told him to. Actually, he went in this astral world where he met some other sadhu who was in Rishikesh, and he asked him he wants to come to US. So next day he got up and he asked his friend that, where is Rishikesh? And she said it is in India. So he has to get a visa to go to India. And then he went there. He said he met Babaji there and he met this guy and he brought him here. And I met him here actually. So this guy was 85-year-old and he survived on dry fruits and milk. And 32 years he was in Badrinath.
Wow.
And he was in like Mahatma Gandhi's time, and then he came here and he used to give lectures and then I think now he passed away. So that's really, I met this guy.
Yeah. And, recently in last November when I had the COVID and I couldn't get out of bed or I had to be in quarantine for, 10 days. So I was just started listening to Autobiography of Yogi again. So this, these are the books you have to read several times for it to sink into you, everything. So it seems that Yogananda's coming to the US was planned by his guru's guru. That, hey, they're going to be this boy and we have to send him to America because there are a lot of people, or the West, there are a lot of people over here in the West who need that spiritual guidance. And he's going to be the appropriate guy and all that. So there were meetings that took place in the Himalayas and all that. And then when Yogananda ko bola gaya ki tumko jana hai, he resisted a lot. He didn't want to come. Because he wanted to go in the Himalayas or whatever. And they said, no. Don't be selfish, his guru said. You have attained all these things and you have a job to do in this life now. It's not that easy, right? Apna country chhod ke idhar aana and then to do. And even when Vivekanand ji came, how much kitna unko bhatakna pada yahan pe. It was not an easy path. And even when Yogananda came, it was not easy for him.
Uska bhi ek connection tha. Somewhere I read that Vivekanand told somebody or wrote that this other Yoganand will come and bring a silver cup or something.
Yes, because these, इनकी जो high level meeting होती है ना, वो हम लोग के बस की बात नहीं है. They all know each other at that. Yeah. That's true. I read about that too.
Yeah.
That this person thought that Vivekanand was his guru and Vivekanand said no. There's going to be another Swami who will come. He's going to give you a silver cup on Christmas Day and that's going to be your guru. And Yogananda gave him a silver cup and he just fell at his feet. He's saying Vivekanand had told me so many years ago. He was a teenager or something at that time, or a little boy, 10-year-old. And he said, I know so he became Yogananda's disciple. That is in that Autobiography of Yogi book is there. I remember that.
Also, one guy was the president of an oil company in Houston. And he bought 22 acres right here in Encinitas and gave it to him on his birthday.
Yeah, and the whole thing happened because Yogananda went to India for a long visit. He said, और पीछे से इनके सारे भक्तों ने मिलके, they made this Encinitas Ashram for him. And when he came back, he said that they took him there and then they said, here it is, this is yours. And he said he was so shocked. इतना बड़ा, इतना सुंदर आश्रम है. हम लोग में से सभी गए होंगे वहाँ पे, right? And he said कि उनको सब उनसे छुपा के रखा था उन्होंने. बताया नहीं था उनको कि उनके लिए सब ये कर रहे हैं. And he said the beauty was so breathtaking, he couldn't believe it. But the another interesting thing is, he had the vision of this place when he was younger.
Right.
It came in, there are two visions came. This one and the one in, it seems, Self-Realization Fellowship, which I have not seen in LA. It's on the top of the mountain. I don't know who has gone there.
Yeah, I have been there.
You have been there? So he said that building and this, both of them came in his vision that it's going to happen. When and how, he didn't know.
Umaji, if you haven't been to the LA one, you should make a weekend trip.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for so long and then the pandemic came and all, but one day maybe it will materialize.
It's just very, very peaceful.
Yeah. So all that is so many things in these people's life happen in the astral world. That's what we're trying to. That world does exist. Yeah.
Same way, Satguru also imagined that Shivka statue in Coimbatore.
Oh, I see. So he had like the vision before. You're saying.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I have heard about that for so many different Swamis. There was another Rama Swami. Uske disciples bata rahe the. Right now, there's a university there, near Rishikesh, Dehradun mein hai. And my husband and I visited. He was invited to give talks and all over there. And the people who have been associated with him for very long, they said there used to be a jungle. अभी 20-30 साल में ही वो आई है, पहले कुछ नहीं था वहाँ पे. तो इसे the Swami Rama was walking with them and he said, here is going to be the hospital and here is going to be the university. And they just looked at him like, are you crazy? There's nothing here. And he said, next 10 years something will happen. And exactly like that happened. So he already had the vision that is going to happen. And then it seems that there's one person that we know, Saini, his name is, and his wife said, she used to be a housewife. And she was married to this doctor and he told her, you're going to be my first doctor in there. And she said, me and doctor, But because wo saint ne bola tha, unko pata tha, she did go to the medical school, she got the degree and she is.
See, मेरा एक friend है, वो in 60s, from 60s, he is the disciple of Rama, Swami Rama.
Swami Rama. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's another very mystical Swami. And he has his one center is here in Philadelphia of his. I think it's called Himalayan Institute. Same name is there. But the big one is in that Dehradun, where they have a hospital and everything. It's very big right now. But they have his place where he meditated and all, they kept it separate, that building.
Okay.
So, anyway.
And he's like a Spanish-speaking person. And he said that Satguru's teachings are also like they are translated into Spanish, and he listens at YouTube for them.
Wow. Yeah, I believe it. He's getting very popular.
I could not believe it because he first asked me, what is my name? I said, my name is Naresh. And he said, well, where are you from? I said, India. So, you know about Satguru? I said, definitely know about Satguru. He said, I know about him too because I listened about his teachings. And I said, where do you listen about his teachings? He said, oh, they have a Spanish translation on YouTube.
Very interesting, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll be surprised at how many people in the world connect to this saints and sages from India. And even here, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna really knocks my socks off because these guys are in their 20s. I go there on Thursday morning to help them in the kitchen for an hour, and the guy who cooks over there, 22-year-old. He's already taken, the path. Totally dedicated to Krishna, So they are like they're born in America, but some Purva Janma thing is there. They immediately connect to Krishna and its path. And because I go there, it's like a weekday. So once in a while, I'll see some hippie-looking person or some normal person. They're sitting there and doing their japa. They are the only people in the whole mandir, but they are coming there.
No, I used to watch when I went to the airport, see these Hare Krishna people dancing. And at that time, I didn't pay much attention. That was way early. But then I realized later on that they are totally charged,
Oh my God, yes, they are एकदम ecstasy में चले जाते हैं वो yeah. और हम लोग, it's not fake. They feel like that in there. Because I spend a little more time because it's close to my house. So now I know them. And then when I was cutting the vegetable, the guy started talking about Bhagavad Gita and asked me what is my favorite chapter. He started telling me his and all that. And then they keep the Hare Krishna mantra on,
Right.
So they are totally immersed in it.
You should see the Hanumanji in the LA temple, the Culver City temple.
Mm-hmm.
There are kids, those who are like 10, 12, 15 years old, and in the Mangal Aarti, they are dancing as if like nothing else exists.
Yeah. True, true. So they could be any nationality, anything, but they still connect to the spiritual world from India and other places. But अपना India में ज़्यादा है ये सब. So they,
So,
yeah.
Umaji, since you brought up the Hare Krishna temple and you're so involved with it, I know Sheila is also very involved. If you have old saris and embroidery things and suits and all that you don't wear, wash them, clean them, put them in a bag, leave them over there. If they don't use it to wear, they will make cushions out of it, curtains out of it, and they're stored.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah.
So anybody has any of those things, just drop them off, even in the courtyard in a bag. They will find some way of using it. They cut the embroidery out and make cushions out of it.
Oh, that's interesting. You told me because somebody recently was asking me, do they do that in other Hare Krishna temple also? Or just here?
No, but this one I
This
know
one,
that
okay.
they have communal clothes. They make children's clothes out of your saris and your Indian suits and things. And they make cushions out of it. They make little things that they can sell.
Okay. It's good to know. Okay. Shall we close?
Yes.
All right, everyone.
Okay, Hari Om.
Stay happy, healthy. We'll see you next time. Hari Om.
Bye. See you, everyone.
I was going to comment.
Yeah. Bolo.
I have sent this movie to everybody where Krishna Bhagwan comes and talks to the Sanjeev Kumar. And I think it's worth watching. There's
Yeah.
a lot of lessons in it.
Yeah, I
So
told Joe that I
yeah,
will watch, yeah.
Huh?
No, I was telling you, before the class started, you sent and I didn't get a chance, but I want to watch. Yeah, I'm sure it's a good one that you sent.
It's a very old movie, but I remembered because I think somebody said that अगर भगवान आपको मिल जाए तो what will you do? And then the answer was that first find out have you met him or you are there. So उसका answer I gave this movie. So, what will you say when you see Bhagwan?
So Kamla ji, you came पर्दे से बाहर after the whole class?
मैं सुनने की कोशिश ना हूँ. I take care of my granddaughter. और अभी मैं एक क्वेश्चन जो मेरे दिमाग में घूम रहा है उसके लिए मैं आई हूँ कि I'm not sure about this part yet. कि self-realization and moksha are same thing or different?
See, I told you even before that it depends on which kind of thing you are following. In Krishna Bhagwan's, if you go by Geeta, that's this class is about, it's the same thing. Self-realization, moksha, nirvana, merging with the Brahman, all that state is the same. But if you go and maybe other organizations, they might have a slightly different take on it. I don't know. There are different varieties, but in Bhagavad Gita, it is the same. And then the person who has become that, usko different naam diye hai Bhagwan ne. One is Sthita Pragna. That is in chapter 2. Later on, usko Gunatit bola, chapter 14 mein, jo the person who has risen above the gunas. Or Bhakt bhi bola hai, but Bhakt, the highest kind of Bhakt, who has merged with God. So they have used different names, but it's referring to the same person. And they also, in Bhagavad Gita, it is believed that while living, you can become merged. But I think that because you didn't attend the whole class, we had a whole discussion on it, that even though you merge, this life will continue until your prarabdha is over. But the next birth, you will not take the next birth. And even if you come back, you will come back like Krishna Bhagwan, knowing everything why you're coming back. Like he told in chapter 4 to Arjun, that तेरे भी बहुत जन्म हो चुके हैं, मेरे भी जन्म हो चुके हैं, फर्क यही है कि तुझे याद नहीं है, मुझे याद है. So those are the aspects of it.
Yeah, because I feel, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. I'm still searching for this. I feel that all these self-realized souls, they reach to the higher level and, okay, she's crying too much. But after even becoming self-realized soul, they are still meditating, and they're still trying to reach to another level where they don't have to come back, where they don't have to. But it doesn't mean that I know it. I don't know.
No, but as I told you that if you go by Bhagavad Gita, I can tell you that. But, there are so many different varieties of it. Like I was telling in Buddhism, they don't even talk about Nirvana they're not talking about consciousness there. But here we are. So there are different.
Highest realized soul is Shiv, and he is still meditating.
That's because that is something that, when they are not doing any other action, they are in meditation, Because they are, हम लोग दूसरा कुछ करेंगे, right? We will waste our time.
No. I saw, I read a lot about Paramahansa Yogananda, that he will be meditating all the time. He will know like what the other person is thinking. He will manage everything, but still he will find special time to sit down and meditate.
Because we are still in body, no? So obviously the body has to do other functions. So he just wants this quiet time. So it's not a contradiction, Kamlaji. They can be.
I know, and I'm not contradicting or anything.
No, I'm talking about I think that whatever you're saying, that also is, but it's not like he's trying to reach another level, because he has already reached. So it's not like उसको कोई और level पे पहुंचना है, कि वो तो already स्थित प्रज्ञ है. Because in Autobiography of Yogi also, he had already had that experience of merging.
Again, I can be completely wrong. This is my understanding. I'm trying to understand that, there are different levels. We become sthit prajna, but according to me, that doesn't mean that we became self-realized. We became sthit prajna, that's advanced stage where we have control over our mind. We can do what we want, and we are still concentrating.
I think you had the same question for last so many years, because you cannot break that barrier that what Krishna Bhagwan is saying is self-realized, is Siddha Prajna. But what you have to accept is, in Bhagavad Gita is like that, but if your mind doesn't accept, it's okay. But, Bhagavad Gita mein jo bola gaya, that we are discussing over here. So not everybody will agree with everything, right? So that's up to your mind, but if
I say I'm not contradicting, please do not take that.
No, I'm not.
I'm searching for the answer. I'm still searching for why these questions are coming in my mind.
This is what I could do for you if you want. I can select the verses where Krishna Bhagwan has categorically said that there is nothing more than that, and I will give you those verses. And even Yogananda may have commentary on it. I'm not sure. There are thousands of saints and sages who have made commentary on that. And then you can study it further to clear your mind. Because there are specific verses which point to what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Even within, because unfortunately, because of your babysitting, commitments, you cannot attend the classes very regularly. It has already come in chapter 6. That Krishna Bhagwan has already mentioned in the verses that we did in the previous weeks, that stage is, there's nothing more to be gained after that. That's the language he has used, right? So you have to go back and study those verses. Maybe that will make your mind more clear of the doubts.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I'll do that.
Maybe Joe has some more to add to this thing. Maybe Joe has something to clarify my query.
One way you can. I don't know if I sent it or not, but I think there's a 9th sutra of Shiv, which he talks about these 3 stages, which we did in Manduk Upanishad. Because, all the 3 stages. If you can become in Turiya state in each stage, that's it. So what you have to do, he even tells a technique that you become a Sakshi in every stage. I mean, like how you become in your Jagrat state, then before you go to sleep, you try to say you are going to be Sakshi in this state, and then what happens is gradually you increase that Sakshi state, and you become Turiya in all 3 states. And that is the Shiv Sutra. And to me, that means you merge in the Turiya state. Now, when you say moksha, that's what we discussed, in fact, today, that Ramakrishna, he doesn't have the body, but he can come back and tell you things. And Shiva also can come and tell you things.
Yeah.
You don't have the body.
Yeah, Babaji, there
Babaji
are
too.
many examples.
So there is a stage between when you say moksha and you merge with energy, then those entities disappear. But they don't disappear. They still exist and they can guide. In fact, Krishna also says that I guide everybody. If I didn't come, I don't have to do anything.
See, Krishna Bhagwan already said it in chapter 4 that with the help of my Maya, I took this birth.
Right.
You know, so they can use, it's like the whole factory is available to me. I can choose what I want to do with it. If I want to come in some life, I can. I'm the master of everything. And one of those verses is going to come in Bhagavad Gita later on in later chapters, that how at different spiritual level, you get different powers. And the ultimate is a moksha where you are Brahman yourself. You know?
Yeah, and that is what Chidananda Rupam Shivam is.
Yeah.
Which means everybody is same. Only thing is you are not aware.
So I think that's where you start with, Kamlaji, that I will send you those verses and you see after you study them how you feel. Okay?
And actually,
All right.
one does not have to get there. One has to get rid of all the garbage we have.
You are already there. That is another us. Yeah, like, you know, you are already, it's like you're already it, but you just don't know it. That's what they are telling you. Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Nice,
everybody.
Nice discussion. Thank you so much. We'll keep searching.
Okay.
That's the whole idea. Okay. Hari Om.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Take care.